Are you serious? Oh, okay.
Community, what is up? Welcome back, everybody, to the Sideline Study Podcast for episode 2. On today's episode, we've got the crew back, and we're going to be talking preseason week 1 review. Thank you, everybody, who's going to be joining us live for this podcast. And first of all, I want to thank Kubi for allowing us to use his theme song called Machinery for this podcast. Thank you very much. Go check him out, ladies and gentlemen. If you like that 8-bit music like I do, that old school game style, man, Kubi, thank you so much for allowing us to use your music on my channel. And I'd like to welcome all of you guys here. It's we took a week off last week because, there was only one game that happened. We didn't want to do a full hour of just talking about Lamar Jackson looking rusty in his preseason week 1. But today we are fresh and we are here, ladies and gentlemen. And here I am on the screen with everybody here, and we've even got another person here as well, Trexter, for the podcast. But first of all, let me welcome my co-hosts. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Coop, by the way. But it's not about me, it's about us. Let me get to my co-host right now. First of all, from the Coop Bong Show, JP Baker. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Oh, it's going
great.
Ready to
talk. I'm ready to talk some college football for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, that needs. There's something that I need to say. But go ahead.
Oh no, I'm really excited because we were just talking before we were doing this, and he knows more about the college football than I do. I'm in Canada. I don't want to talk about CFL. I mean, I don't want to talk about Johnny Manziel. I don't care about him right now. I think he did pretty bad in his first game with the Tiger.
That's what I heard. I heard he did really shitty.
Yeah, I think his first CFL play was an interception.
Was it you, Bobbit, that told me the game was 50-something to 11 or something like that?
Oh,
he had 6 interceptions in that game
or something like that.
I have no idea, but Johnny Manziel just proves that he's so fucking shitty, even in the CFL. But that's what I'm looking forward to. What are you going to be talking about in this college football segment?
I want to talk about the SEC and how it compares to all the other conferences. What the SEC gets away with compared to every other conference in college football. It's gonna have to do with education and why it is so fucking difficult for the University of Wisconsin to get a player of a caliber that Alabama can get.
I look forward to this segment. I really look forward to all the college football we're going to get to. And let me get to my your other co-host there. Miss Goonie20 is to the right side of the screen here. How you doing, Heather? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited my Ravens won their first preseason game.
Yep. She's a Goonie, all right.
Yeah, I'd love for your thoughts on Lamar Jackson in his first 2 games because obviously he's one of the big topics thing, and I think he did. Did he do much better in his second game? I think, right?
Yes, the second game was definitely a much better performance, but the first game was not a terrible performance either, in my opinion.
It showed that he's still a rookie and he still needs a lot of work to do, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, but given that he is a rookie and it is only the preseason. He also did not have the best team out there with him also.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into more Lamar Jackson talk right when we get to the reviews of all the first preseason Week 1 games. And to the very top left of the corner, you see my other co-host here, Foulmouth Bobbit is in the house. How you doing, champ? What's going on, man?
Doing pretty good. Happy that my Panthers beat the Bills and go Virginia Tech.
Oh yeah, I look forward to reviewing that, and I look forward to what your thoughts on the first. If you got to see any parts of the game, we'll talk about that and some of the young kids that are coming up with that team. What are the expectations going into the preseason week 2? But I also want to welcome somebody else that's just here that's just wanted to kick around, and we wanted to kick him on here. What's going on, Trek? Welcome.
Hi, guys. Happy to be here. How are you tonight, Coop?
Oh, I'm doing fine, man. Thank you so much for joining us here. And you're an NFL fan yourself. Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for...
Say it.
Huh?
Dare you. Say it.
Lions.
Go ahead, man. You're good.
I'll proudly say I'm rooting for the Lions this year in the NFL. I hope the Lions do well.
Hey, man. No.
6-10. 6-10.
Yeah, the Lions, man, they've got some young talent, I think, there. And, you've got a really good quarterback that he is a franchise quarterback. The team should have won a Super Bowl with Calvin Johnson at the time, but they couldn't get past the first round, I think, in the playoffs, right?
They didn't have a defense.
Now they have okay defense. They've always had that solid line. I think there was Ziggy Ansah. He was a stud for the Lions, I think, back in the day. I'm not sure if he's still with them or not.
Yes.
Oh, he's still with them. Okay, yeah, I've always liked him. He came from I don't know where he came from, but I don't think he knew too much about the NFL.
I think he came from BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Brigham Young.
I do like him as a lineman for the linemen. I do know that. And of course Ndamukong Suh, who is now playing for the fucking Rams.
I fucking loved it. Like a few years, his last year in Detroit. There was a crucial play, and J.C. Treader, who played center for the Packers at the time, Ndamukong Suh was in that mode of where he was just a cheap shot artist, where he'd just do cheap shit all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was a really crucial point in the game. It was a 4th down play. So Green Bay was on fourth and like 10 or something like that. And Ndamukong Suh stepped on his hands on purpose, got a personal foul penalty. Packers drove down the field, scored a touchdown to end the game. And I think that was the same game where the Hail Mary happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a bit of a high. I think hopefully he's calmed down now. I think he's calmed down because knowing where his place and his role is.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I haven't heard anything. He hasn't been suspended. He hasn't been fined or anything. So maybe he has. He's learned his lesson. Now he just wants to win a championship, and I understand his competitive nature, but you've got to understand you got to control your emotions too. And I know it's hard at times, but
see, that is why I smoke weed and I just laugh. That's the only emotion I'm feeling right now is because like my fucking Jets destroyed the Falcons 17-0. It was zippy, but it was a preseason game, so I shouldn't brag too much.
I was just gonna say, don't get excited.
But I do have a friend that's a Falcons fan, and then after he called me up and said, "I want to change teams." He doesn't know because that's how embarrassed he is losing to me in preseason. But I think he's trying to switch over to a Browns fan now. I think that's just even worse.
God.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Ziggy Ansah is from BYU. He went to BYU. He started playing football his senior year in high school too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's they did. I remember they did a story on him a while ago. I just couldn't remember the story was. Thanks for bringing that back up for me. I appreciate that. But yeah, I got to see my first look at Sam Darnold as a rookie. He's looking good. He stepped. I liked some stuff I saw from Sam Darnold. He stepped up in the pocket a couple of times, made some nice throws, and showed that why he was one of the top QBs to go. So yeah, he's looking good. But Teddy Bridgewater, not too far behind. He's also looking good. It's just this QB competition right now for the Jets. I'm really liking right now, but so far the job is still Josh McCown's. But Teddy Bridgewater, not too far behind when it comes to, and he's building his trade stock, I think. So
right, and that's all he is. He's trade bait. I hate to say it. I didn't think he would ever amount to anything in the NFL. I am sorely mistaken. He was starting to show promise, but then he never. See, when it comes to that, it's when I watch college football. I watch college football for those pro-style quarterbacks because that's what you're going to get in the NFL. You're not going to get that Lamar Jackson type of quarterback. Yes, you're going to get that quarterback that can scramble, but the quarterback in the NFL's got to learn how to throw first and then run if he has to. Mm-hmm. And a lot of quarterbacks, that's why Johnny Manziel didn't pan out in the NFL because of that very factor.
I did like Sam Darnold also is a little bit of a scrambler and a runner, so he's got the legs to move a bit. So I did like
that.
Right,
he came from USC, so he's
the next Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez was even when he was in college, I knew he wasn't going to amount to shit because the Pac-12 really didn't have anybody in. There was really no competition out there. It was USC and everybody else.
By the way, we do have a brand new $6 butt fumble donation for the show. If anybody wants to see the butt fumble donation to represent Mark Sanchez, number 6, I've created that for this podcast. I've gotten a few of that already on my other podcast, but it's I'm just throwing it out there. It's in the link in the bio. If anybody wants to test out the new donation, you're more than welcome to. But let's get also back into the other kid of Goonie 20s over there, Lamar Jackson. What did you like from him in week 2?
He definitely showed a bit more confidence within himself. The first game he was out there, he was looking around to the point that pocket disintegrated and he had to scramble again. But he definitely showed a little bit more confidence and faster eyes, which is what I look for in a quarterback. You got to have fast eyes, fast hands, lastly, fast feet.
You got to be able to read a defense.
Yep.
And quicker than you do in college because the game goes so fast.
That it does.
And they really gave the LA Rams a spanking with that preseason game. Baltimore won 33-7 over the Rams.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, Baltimore's always had a really good defense, so it's their offense was a little bit shaky. Mm-hmm. If they can figure out their offense, Baltimore's going to be really good this year. They're going to be one of the better teams in the AFC.
How are you liking the Hayden Hurst pick with the new tight end for Baltimore as well? He's obviously going to be a big deal if Lamar Jackson steps in, but obviously they need Hayden Hurst to be a big part in your Baltimore defense or Baltimore offense.
They really do. I mean, if he can actually step up and get himself to be as close to matching Flacco as he can, we have a shot here.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking up the total completions. Okay, so Lamar Jackson completed 7 for 18 attempts and got 119 yards in total. So he's got some work to do when it comes to the passing part, obviously.
Absolutely, because again, he's still learning how to get them fast eyes, so this way he can find that open defense and go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a work in progress. When they draft these quarterbacks in college, and I know I keep reverting back to this, when they draft these quarterbacks in college, they're prospects. They're not. Look at Aaron Rodgers. They drafted him in the first round. Look at how good he is. Did he play his first 3 years in the NFL? No. So if you're going to throw a guy out there right away, thank God Baltimore has a real opportunity for Lamar Jackson to sit back. If Flacco can be that quarterback that he was when he was at the Super Bowl, if he can do that, Lamar Jackson could be a good quarterback, a really good quarterback, if he can sit there and learn from Flacco.
Absolutely. And another shout out I got to give to one of your players for Baltimore that I really like, Alex Collins. Oh, we got a donation.
Yes.
OMG, at least football is back. Wrestling has been a snoozer, but go Colts and Iowa Hawkeyes. Love you all.
Piss on the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That was from Sarah. Thank you so much. And that's from Sarah, big supporter of the show. Thank you very much, Sarah. That was, by the way, if you guys don't know, that's Larry Tunsil. That's the guy that got in trouble for the bong hit. That was in the draft. And,
oh, yeah. Well, he didn't get in trouble for that, but his stock dropped.
Yeah, basically he got in trouble.
Stock dropped because of that.
That's kind of a shame that, just because of something like that where somebody exposes somebody just, feeling good.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, you have to make him feel bad and have him drop in the draft. Oh, well. I don't know if he's working out for the Dolphins or not, but shout out to him for creating one of my favorite videos when it comes to stoner NFL players.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think back to so Alex Collins is what I mentioned, the running back. I really like this kid. He reminds me of a thinner Marshawn Lynch, or like a Chris Ivory kind of thing. He's like he can run really fast and he will butt heads with you if he wants. He's got that aggressiveness to him.
Isn't he like 220 pounds? Isn't he like a back?
I'm not sure, but he's got a lot of dreadlocks. We'll put it that way.
I think he's like 6 foot 220.
I really like him as a running back because I think he only ran the ball twice and got 28 yards or something like that. He had a couple of good runs, I think, in the preseason, so he's looking good. Speaking of which, Saquon Barkley, we got to talk about this kid, man. Wow. The run that this kid, there's a lot of hype, man. There's a lot of, what do you think about Saquon Barkley? But he got hurt right now.
He's hurt?
He's a hamstring injury that he's dealing with right now.
Typical. Saquon Barkley. Yeah. He was hurt in college a lot.
Really? He was. Oh, okay. So please, how often would he get hurt?
I mean, his last year he played. I mean, he wasn't hurt too much, but he's not an every down back. He give you 20 touches a game, maybe. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a really good running back. He's worth the second pick if he's healthy. But he is injury prone. Like any running back, they're all injury prone. I mean, you look at the average life expectancy, and I'm not talking about death here, people. The average life expectancy of a running back is only 3 years. So I don't know. I like the kid. He runs hard. Maybe he runs too hard. That's why he gets hurt a lot. But yeah, he's good. He's big back. I think he's another one of those 6'1", 220 kids. He's got speed, can run, can cut.
We'll have to keep an eye on him, and thank you very much for that information, because now I know that I'm not sure if I want him in my fantasy draft or not. If he's gonna get hurt, I'll use him as trade bait instead.
Like Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, yes, he's a great running back, but look at what he did his last year in Ohio State. And he bitched about it. He's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, well, we'll see how Ezekiel Elliott does this season, but we will be talking some Cowboys. Did you guys get to see the Cowboys and San Francisco game at all?
I seen the bits and pieces of it. It put me to sleep.
The last minute drive by that San Francisco quarterback was very well put together. I was at the gym watching this game, and they were down, and this young kid, I don't know, I think his name was Williams or something like that, but this kid put together a nice last minute 2-minute drive to beat the Cowboys in the game. A beautiful finish by this kid.
Wow, Gatekeeper. You guys lost to the fucking Niners. Sad.
Anyway. Oh, shout out to Sir Cardinal. I know he's a 49ers fan, but hey, you know, if I could say anything about that division, I think the Seahawks might lose the division because I think the 49ers have a better chance of doing better than them.
I think the Rams are the cream of the crop in the NFC West, easily. There's nobody there right now. I mean, Seattle, they lost everybody, didn't they? They got rid of everybody. They did a wholesale, didn't they?
Yeah, they're basically going retooling mode now. It's like Arizona could maybe compete if they all stay healthy. Not sure.
Well, who's the quarterback in Arizona right now?
Josh Rosen. That's another kid.
Isn't it? But who did they sign?
Oh, Sam Bradford.
Yeah, there's a bust if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, well, we all know that Sam Bradford, he gets injury prone too easily, right? Well,
yeah, don't get me started.
Let me just do the numbers here on Josh Rosen's game because obviously he's one of the quarterbacks everybody's talking about, right? I'm not sure if they have him here. They have Canoff, and for some reason Josh Rosen is not on the recap thing for the Arizona Cardinals. That's weird. One of the most talked about quarterbacks right now, and they're only showing off the backup with 3 out of 5 completions for a touchdown. That's ridiculous. Rosen shows signs of potential in first NFL action. So I guess he did all right in his first game. But in that game, that was a total. Let's see here. I think it was the Chargers that won that game. No, it was Arizona, 24-17. I didn't get a chance to watch that game, so not sure how Rosen did. Well, I guess I'll do the research on that and see how he did. But another game I did watch, though, was the Denver Broncos game and the Minnesota Vikings game. Did you see that game at all?
I did not.
The Minnesota Vikings.
I only got like Packers, and that was it. I seen the Packers and whatever is on NFL Network because I'm usually at work, so it's kind of hard for me to. I have to sit down and watch it on the weekend.
Yeah, that's why whenever I get free time, when I'm at the gym, I ask for them to turn the NFL Network on for me there, so I get to catch up.
Usually going like on all the games, I go and read the recaps and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I'll update you on what happened in that game, the Minnesota and Denver game. You didn't miss much. The Minnesota Vikings basically kicked the shit out of Denver.
I was thinking about this today, flying down here because I'm in Houston. Who is their quarterback? Because I know they got rid of Case Keenum. Case Keenum's not there anymore, is he?
What, in Minnesota?
Yeah.
It's Kirk Cousins now.
Okay.
You know, it's my
Minnesota goes through quarterbacks quicker than the Chicago Bears do.
Actually, I did. Have you guys seen the history? Oh, we got another donation from Sarah.
Good luck to everyone's teams this year. Luck played good last Thursday again. Love you all.
Thank you very much, Sarah. We'll talk about your Indianapolis Colts soon here, and we'll talk about how that game went. So Kirk Cousins, you were talking about how much of a bust he is?
I wouldn't know. I'm not going to say that about Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins probably should still be in Washington. Why Washington didn't re-sign him, I do not know. That was the dumbest fucking. He's a franchise quarterback.
My father actually is pissed off because now they have Alex Smith. So
he's serviceable, but he's not that franchise quarterback. Like they drafted him to be. We talked about this, I think, the first episode. You look at Aaron Rodgers, he became that franchise quarterback, and Alex Smith was that serviceable quarterback. Yeah, he can start for you, but he's not going to wow you with his numbers, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's why he got benched when the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, right?
Well, Kaepernick, don't get me started.
Yeah, we won't get started on Kaepernick. How about the Carolina game here with Bobbit's team? We've got Carolina Panthers beating Buffalo 28-23. Did you get a chance to watch that game, Bobbit?
I seen bits and pieces of it. I went and seen the Meg that night, and like I watched bits and pieces of it from like the local news station around here. Our backup quarterback is looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I do have some interesting ideas what's going on, because the Buffalo Bills also have their other rookie quarterback as well, right? I think it's it's another Josh, I think. Josh something, I don't know. There's too many Joshes in this world, I think. But
yeah, really.
Yeah, who's your backup? I think he's Heinickel. He completed 7 of 9, and he got 121 passing yards and 1 touchdown. So yeah, that's pretty good. Not too bad. But
yeah,
go ahead, Bobbit.
He needs to learn from Cam a little bit more. If you can learn from Cam a little bit more.
Learn from fucking Cam Newton.
Well, he's got to learn how to do a dab.
That's about all he's gonna learn.
But no, but like I'm really confident in this kid. Like if Cam gets injured, I think he'll step up nicely for our team, honestly.
I'm gonna say this: when people sit there and say, like, Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre, I did not want Aaron Rodgers to learn from Brett Favre. There's no fucking way. Are you kidding me? That guy just threw the ball because he's good. You know what I mean? I mean, he threw the ball into fucking quadruple coverage.
Yeah.
You know? That's why they have a quarterbacks coach, to teach that guy how to fucking play quarterback in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Don't pay attention to fucking Cam Newton. Because that guy is so unorthodox, it's not even funny.
Let's quickly go through the other games here. So you watched the Green Bay game. What did you think about the Green Bay Packers?
I'm going to say this: the NFC better be ready.
They won their game 31-17.
They didn't even play half of their starters, and they looked really good.
Well,
they looked scary good.
They needed some hype after what Aaron Rodgers said about the team. What are your thoughts on that from Aaron Rodgers?
I don't really read too much into it, because that's just the competitive nature of Aaron Rodgers. We hear it all the time. All the time. He's like, we've got to step it up. But he will do this. Aaron will do this. He will say, he'll put the onus on himself. If the team loses, he'll talk about what he did wrong, not what everybody else did wrong. That's what makes Aaron Rodgers such a great leader, is because he will not shit on anybody else. If he does bad, he talks about what he could do better. And he ain't gonna talk shit about fucking Mike McCarthy, because what's he gonna say? But the game, and Tennessee is supposed to be really good this year. They got fucking whooped by the Packers' second string.
That was the total of the score, by the way. Sorry, we were talking between
31-17, I think.
31-17 was the total in that game. So yeah, so if you guys are unaware with what Aaron Rodgers' comments were, he was in the locker room and he said, "I've been here for quite a long time, and this is the worst I've ever seen out of the locker room." So that was basically the comments that he said.
But that's just him being that leader. I don't read too much into the comments of what he says. He's just he's being that leader. He's speaking up. He's like, we've got to be that cohesive unit if we want to go where we want to go.
Well, you have guys. Your team has suffered a few injuries, but you have said they haven't been too much of a factors for your team. Like the guy that's out with the ACL tear, Ryan, he's out for the rest of the year. But you said he was more of a backup role kind of guy.
Well, he's a serviceable linebacker. Mm-hmm. He's serviceable. I wouldn't call him a backup. He's serviceable. I don't know who they've put in his place. Blake Martinez is really the standout linebacker of the middle linebacker of the group. Jake Ryan was supposed to be, but Blake Martinez kind of stepped into that role. Their outside linebackers, I mean, they didn't even freaking play. Neither Clay nor Nick Perry played, so their defense has improved already from what I've seen.
Here's some good news. What's going on? It seems like Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Graham are beginning to click a lot more in practice together, and that's really essential. That those two are very important for your Green Bay Packers offense this season.
Oh, and I forgot about this. They had Mercedes Lewis too. Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize that. And plus they've got Kendrick. So they have 3 tight ends that are actually very, very serviceable. If not, one's a superstar, one's a step below him, and then the other one's just a step below him. So their tight end, their receiving core, they didn't need Jordy Nelson. They didn't. We needed a tight end. We picked up Jimmy Graham. We picked up Mercedes Lewis. I'm happy with it. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk.
Yeah, it's because you guys had Bennett for a while, right? And I didn't think he was a proper tight end.
We had him for. I think they had him for the first 8 games, and then they released him because he's hurt all the time.
Oh yeah.
If you don't want to play, goodbye.
Yep, absolutely. So it's good that the Green Bay Packers came out with a win, their first preseason game. The Cincinnati Bengals and Chicago Bears, the Cincinnati Bengals pulled off a 30-27 victory over the Chicago Bears.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I don't think people need to care too much about that one. We had the New Orleans Saints taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, where they won that game 24-20 over the Jaguars. Now we got to get into some Jaguars talk here because there was a few suspensions by some key players. There was a fight that broke out in practice with, I believe it was Dante Fowler Jr. that started a fight with somebody in practice. And so he got suspended because of this incident. And so I think only for 1 week, so it's not that big of a deal. But here's the thing, is media was recording, and they were recording the fight in practice. They had Jalen Ramsey, their young cornerback, went up to the media after all the practice and all the fighting happened, and he asked the media not to post the fight online. Obviously, they're going to disobey that, so a reporter put it online, and Jalen Ramsey went after this reporter, called this reporter a bunch of stuff, and he got suspended. So we had 2 players that's showing a little bit of not. There's not too much discipline going on in Jacksonville right now, I think. What do you think? What's your thoughts on them?
Somebody can go ahead and take it. I'm good.
How young are they?
Huh?
How young are they?
Jalen Ramsey is like his 3rd or 4th year in the league. Dante Fowler, isn't he like a defensive end?
Yep. Yeah, defensive end.
I think he's been in the league just a couple of years. Mm. Yeah, look, I'll start. You can go up to the media and say don't post that. It's their right to post it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you don't want them to post something, don't be a fucking dipshit and fucking do stupid shit.
Yeah.
And you don't want none, won't be none, right? Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking. Well, I knew that as soon as they posted the story. If you ask somebody to do something, they're gonna do it, obviously, because they're right. They have the media right to do whatever they want.
Freedom of press.
Yeah, it's their
and also it's the Jaguars. Enough said.
Jaguars are pretty good. You're gonna miss.
Yeah, but we know who came out of that expansion draft in the better shape.
The Jacksonville Jaguars did.
Speaking of fantasy draft, I have my my 6th year of my free NFL fantasy draft happening. If anybody wants to join that, more than welcome to. How it goes with me is I do a 16-team league with 4 divisions. And the winner of each division get the top 4 spots, and the bottom 4 are based on the most amount of wins that the other teams get in the league. It's kind of similar to what they do in the actual season, but it's fun if anybody wants to join. Throwing it out there, a little plug, just a little plug, you know. I gotta throw the plug in there.
Hey, Coop. After the show, send me a link. I'll do it. Fuck it.
I'll do it. Fuck it.
Hell yeah, we'll do it live. I've been doing the mock drafts. I've been trying to get ready. By the way, Darius Geis out for the season for the Washington Redskins, if anybody's wondering what's going on with him. Out with an ACL tear.
Say that name again. Cool.
Darius Geis, the young running back for the Washington Redskins, he is out with an ACL tear for the rest of the year.
Where did they draft him at? Is he a rookie or?
He was the guy that dropped down in the draft because of his attitude problem, I think. He was the one that the Redskins snagged in the 2nd round.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is out with an ACL tear for the rest of the season, so that affected my mock drafts a lot. Throwing that out there, but that was just more news. What's going on with other games? So Jacksonville, we got that one out of the way. Tampa Bay and Miami. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their game 26-24 over the Miami Dolphins. And a little bit of side news, Parker, the wide receiver for the wide receiver, suffered a broken finger. And he should be week to week. So
he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
He'll be back, but Devontae Parker, he's injury prone too, isn't he?
He has been over the last couple of years, yeah. I think he's the one that's always hurt. Although he's good. They drafted him in the 1st round. He's got talent, but they're not, again, injury prone.
Yep.
These teams going out and drafting guys just based on what they seen them do in college is not the way to go about it. You got to look at their character, whether or not they're injury prone. And I'm not sitting here saying that I can do it, but good God. I'm sorry, go ahead.
There was a lot of hype about him because he was the fastest runner at his school at the time, right? I think he broke records.
Went to Louisville, I think.
Yeah, I think he was, so there was a lot of hype about Parker Kid, but he's just been holding back with injury so far. But so that was, I'm not sure if we have any Miami Dolphins here fans, so. But
Brian Himmelfarb is. I know.
Yeah, you get the Himmel God.
Himmel God, that's right. Shout out to Himmel God, wherever the hell he is. Yeah, I totally forgot. So if he's in the same division as me, he's going to get a lot of trash talking. And
he's a Packer fan too, so.
Yeah, he's got an AFC and an NFC team. That's I think what most fans should have. I've got my Jets and Seahawks, so we've got one in the AFC, one in the NFC. That's about right?
I got my Packers and then I got my Packers.
I've got my Panthers and the Panthers.
There you go. I guess everybody's just got that one team that they root for.
But now I guess I got to be a Ravens fan too. I guess.
We already went through part of the New York Giants game with Saquon Barkley, but the Cleveland Browns came out with the victory in that game, 20-10 over the Giants. And I liked what Baker Mayfield did in his first preseason game. He did some nice moves out of the pocket. I do have to admit with that.
Right.
Yeah. Did you guys get to see his game at all?
I did not. I've been wanting to catch Baker Mayfield. Like I said, I'll have to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I get the NFL Network. Well, I don't know about now since we're moving, but yeah, I mean, look, Baker Mayfield has all the talent in the world. Johnny Manziel had all of the talent in the world. He did.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield, right now, it's scary to say this, but with what he did last year, it parallels everything Manziel did his last year in school. So My jury's out with Baker Mayfield on me. He's the same size. He has the same type of attitude. I just hope I'm wrong about him, but I don't think I'm going to be. And he plays for the Browns, right?
Yeah, he plays for the Browns.
See, if anything, I would have taken a chance on Lamar Jackson.
Really? Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be the better quarterback.
And whose team got him?
Oh, that's your team, Goonie. The Ravens. Besides, the Ravens need a backup for quite some time too.
I mean, Sam Darnold. He went. The Browns had a chance to take him, and they didn't do it.
No.
He's going to be a better. I think he's going to be a better quarterback.
I think he is a better quarterback
than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, they're doing based off of what he did last year and the year before. And it's against college teams where he can get outside of the pocket and do all that fancy bullshit. He ain't going to do that in the NFL. Cam Newton gets away with it because he's 6'5", 250.
Yeah.
It's tough to bring him down. Plus, he's fast as fuck.
Yep.
So,
Bobbit, thumbs up.
Baker Mayfield, right? Baker Mayfield's only, 6 foot, 200 pounds?
Yeah, about that.
We'll see, man.
We'll
see.
But
Did you guys
gotta give it to him. We
Go
got
ahead.
some shout outs to do in the chat here. I see Sarah and I see David. I see Alpha. I see Stone Cold Cody. Thank you very much for modding the channel. I see Merge in here. I see Trek. I see David. What else? I think I already said David twice. But thank you everybody who's actually part of this. I saw Ronnie in here as well. Thank you everybody that's been being part of the chat. I've just been having so much fun talking football. So I do see you guys, and hopefully you guys are having fun. And we'll move on from Cleveland because we'll see how Baker Mayfield does in Week 2. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, where Pittsburgh came out with a 31-14 victory over the Super Bowl champions on their roster. It was all right. I saw part of the game. So it really wasn't too exciting for me. You saw the backup for Pittsburgh doing his thing. Wasn't too much interest in the game. Well, the game.
You ain't gonna get shit out of fucking Heather. She fucking hates the Steelers.
Well, that's good.
Hey, I do too.
Steelers, Jets, and the Giants, they can all jump off a bridge.
Oh, I think there's bridges that they're connecting in New York, right? So I think they gotta go on one of those bridges to jump off. But we'll move on.
They can take the Brooklyn Bridge because at least underneath that one, they're not hitting water; they're hitting buildings.
I don't know too much about New York, but hopefully I get to go there someday to do some stand-up. Have you guys ever heard what my dream is? My goal is to try and go to each NFL stadium, but the night before I go see a game, it's to do a stand-up at a local comedy club or something like that. I kind of want to go tailgating and go see each 32 teams in the United States and then do like a comedy show at one of those venues before it. That's kind of what my dream is. I think that would be a cool series for like YouTube or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Where the games happened, we had the New England Patriots that took on the Washington Redskins. New England came out of that win 26-17. God, I fucking hate the Patriots no matter what. So
we cannot talk about Giselle Butchen for a day. It's fine.
And shout out to Ace that just came in the room as well. Thank you so much for everybody that's tuning in. I see a lot of people having fun in the chat. Fuck the New England Patriots. JoeCronin, if you're watching, fuck the Patriots. I'm going to make a song for you. Tom Brady is a little bitch.
He is.
He is
Yep.
a butt itch.
I guess there's some dissension between him and it's real dissension between him and Bill Belichick.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Well, look at Bill Belichick. You see how much of a dick is when the press was asking for Malcolm Butler questions? He was like, we're on to the new season. We're on to the new season. We're on to the new season. What a fucking asshole. You know what he's doing? He's holding it all in his brain so he can write it on a book and sell it for money.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, but there will be people that will buy that book too.
I would definitely buy Belichick's book because he's been holding everything in for such a long time. He probably has so many things.
I still don't think he's as good a coach as fucking Vince Lombardi is, though. There's no fucking way.
Man, he's more of a businessman than David Reeves or Darrell Reeves. It's fucking
right.
And that guy made some major cash flow. But yeah, fuck New England. But they won their game.
Yep.
We had the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Houston won their game 17-10 over the Chiefs.
This is my dark horse for the AFC this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Houston Texans. They're going to be really good. They got J.J. Watt back. I think he is completely healthy now. Which, if they have him back, I watched him play all 4 years at Wisconsin. That's where he went to college. My God, that man, he was a man. He is a man among boys. He's 6'7", 300 pounds. And he's got arms like a fucking Bigfoot.
Yeah,
his hands are fucking huge, and he can run like the fucking wind.
Mm-hmm. And the main thing with Houston is they have to stay healthy. They're always injury prone. They always have the talent. They always do. But they're always injured. That's their problem. And hopefully they stay healthy, especially because J.J. Watt, he can be, once again, Defensive Player of the Year if he wants to be. He's just got to stay healthy.
They have the quarterback. I think Deshaun Watson will be okay. I think he will be able to help them with the system that they run. He fits perfully.
Jadeveon Clowney also has to be a factor this year. He hasn't done anything.
I think he's out with an injury.
Again?
If he's helped, I think. Well, he was hurt last year.
Yeah.
So it's still from that last year's injury. So there's another guy, a number one pick. Mm-hmm. The number one pick in the draft, injury prone.
Yeah. They gotta stay healthy with that. But also, Deshaun Watson, look for him to be a sneaky little guy as well because
I like Deshaun Watson. I think he's going to be really good. The Texans, they're going to be. I'm sorry, Sarah. They're going to win the AFC South this year. And sorry, Cody. Your Titans got their ass handed to them by a bunch of backups. Just going to throw that out there.
Speaking of which, the Indianapolis Colts actually came out with the victory over my Seattle Seahawks. They won their game 19-17 over Seattle. This young kid Griffin, the one that they got in the draft, he's the one that has the emotional story in that. Yeah. So. Yeah, look, I'm not sure how he did, but at least he's getting some reps in. But it's unfortunately that Seattle lost that game.
Right.
Good on Indianapolis. They do have some young guys on Indianapolis, and Andrew Luck. He's going to be the most important thing. He's got to put up the numbers this year because he's been injured for over a year. And he's gotta have a new contract if he wants to prove he's one of those top tier quarterbacks again this year.
Yeah.
Very important. There's only a few other games that we can get to, and then we'll get into some college football. Sure. We got the Detroit Lions that took on the Oakland Raiders, who I saw actually part of that game, and Detroit lost that game to Oakland 16-10. John Gruden showing his preseason debut with the Oakland Raiders. He shows that he likes the passion. Detroit, a little bit of a slow game for them. But Oakland, they've got some talent on that team, but they've got a tough division that they got to compete in with the LA Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos, right?
Yes, and the thing, and this you're going to find out if Derek Carr can understand football because the verbiage that fucking John Gruden fucking uses is very complex. He was Brett Favre's quarterback coach. Brett Favre, I'm going to tell you right now, some of the funniest stories is listening to John Gruden talk about Brett Favre, how John Gruden would tell him a play and Brett Favre would look at him like, what the fuck did you just say to me? You want me to stick my finger up whose ass? It's really complex. So, and Derek Carr, I think, is intelligent enough. And it's really complex verbiage. That West Coast verbiage, it's really complex. Like, it's not an easy offense to run, especially if you can't understand what the verbiage is, and it's really long too. Mm-hmm. Like, it's right in a fucking book.
I really look forward to see what John Gruden shows. And Detroit also, they've got Matt Patricia, I think, as their head coach now for Detroit. I really want to see what Detroit does with that defense, because they've been.
Did they switch to a 3-4?
I'm not sure. That would be Trek's area. Are you following the team, or are you just?
Do you even know what a 3-4 is?
I haven't got to follow him yet. I'm looking forward to it.
So it's three down defensive linemen and 4 linebackers.
Mm-hmm. This is this is the best part about football is bringing people into the sport and starting for them to learn. I have so many friends that I have brought in last year. They didn't know anything about football, and now that's all they're watching. So it's just that's the best part about this fucking game, man.
I'm gonna say this right now. My AFC team is honestly the LA Chargers.
That's the last game that we didn't get to. Arizona and the LA Chargers, 24-17. The LA Chargers, obviously one of those teams that could be good if they stay healthy and if they have a good kicker. Fucking stupid kicker lost in the games. You remember that, Bobbit, last year with that fucking kicker?
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking idiot. That guy, what? That guy was only a YouTube sensation for doing like a backflip, going and then kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
It's like what qualified him to be an elephant in an NFL kicker?
I thought you said it. We're gonna say an elephant.
That would be hilarious. Hell, an elephant would have done a better job than he did.
And so that's it for all the games. There's only just a little bit of news regarding the NFL. Roethlisberger today went down in practice, and then he went to a concussion protocol. So we that was something I just wanted.
It's like
fuck the Steelers. Fuck the Steelers.
Hey, well, this Ben Roethlisberger guy comes out. He's looking all healthy in that, and now he gets injured again. But it's like
good, deserves it.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck the Steelers.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll find out if Ben Roethlisberger stays healthy or not. But that is all the news for NFL. I want to let JP Baker take this over and talk some college football with you guys. Take it away, JP.
Jump in, and I will teach everybody college football. It's no different than the pros. It's just some things are a little different. I want to talk about the SEC, and I talked about this. I think when somebody posed that question? I think it was like last week or something.
Yeah.
And I talked about it. All right. So the SEC, yes. They have great players. I mean, look at. I'm not knocking the players. I'm knocking the conference itself. You look at Alabama. I'll use Alabama because they're the standard bearer now of college football. Okay. You look at how hard you want to get into Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got a really good fucking football team. They almost had it. All they had to do was beat Ohio State, and they would have been in the playoffs. They didn't do it. That's fine. Whatever. Do you know how hard? Even if you could run a 4.2 40, a 4-flat 40, but you can't spell the word it. You can't. You get you have to have a 2.0. The standard is 2.0. Score this on your ACTs, and you can get into college. You can get into Alabama with a 2.0. I think it's a 2.0, and with an ACT score of whatever. If you do that at Wisconsin, you ain't getting the fuck in. You're not getting in.
We have a donation, JP. We have.
That's fine.
Fuck the SEC Big Ten, baby. Go Hawkeyes. I'm glad we destroyed Ohio State last year in love. This show's Coop.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for the one saying the Hawkeyes basically are kick ass. I don't know too
God.
much about college football, but go ahead, JP. Thank you very much, sir.
So, in a sense, what I was trying to explain to, and yes, I think that was Aaron, Alpha Excalibur I was talking to. We were talking about it, and somebody said something about the SEC, and I said, fuck the SEC for that simple fact that you get all the great players. There's a reason why, because they can't get into the University of Wisconsin. They can't get into the University of Iowa. They can't get into the University of Minnesota's because they can't make the grade. Ohio State and Urban Meyer falls into that category. It's even tough to get into Michigan. I will give Michigan credit where credit is due. They get really good players and they get really good students. Ohio State, Urban Meyer, come from fucking Florida, SEC school. He probably had it written in his, I don't know, I'm just talking on my ass, but he had it written in his, probably had it written in his contract that you need to lower the standards so I can get the players that you want so we can win a national championship here. That's not how you fucking do it. It's called hard work and fucking dedication. You look at the University of Wisconsin, they went 13-1 last year. And who did they play in the bowl game last year? I can't remember. But they didn't even give Wisconsin a chance, and they whooped their ass. So you can go out and get a kid that doesn't run as fast, isn't as talented. It's all about coaching in college football. If you can coach that kid up, you're going to have one hell of a team. Like, look at Wisconsin, look at Iowa, look at Minnesota. They're coming along. USC used to be one of those schools where Pete Carroll cheated the system. So the thing is SEC schools cheat the system because they can. They are allowed to cheat the system. That's what I mean by the standards are so low. Now, as far as college football goes, Alabama's the cream of the crop again this year because for that very, very reason, Nick Saban can get away with doing it. Now, he did it. He was up at Michigan State. You know why he left Michigan State? Because Michigan State would not lower their standards. Orgeron, the coach at LSU, I think he could actually be a decent coach. I think that's who your coach is down there, Aaron. But, yeah, roll tide roll. Yeah, whatever. I hope they fucking lose. I hope to God Nick Saban gets caught doing what he's doing. Because I think he is legit cheating the system. So.
And by the way, JP, your team played Miami in the Orange Bowl.
And won.
Yeah. It was 34-24.
Handily, but they had like a 34-10 lead or something like that. They won handily. It's just one of those things. College football, I love watching college football, but the SEC, and another reason why I hate the fucking SEC is fucking ESPN does nothing but talk about Tom Brady or the SEC, and it's really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
There is no parody anymore. Do you remember how the NFL was going away with this parody? Coop, you know how the salary cap actually brings. That's why the NFL is so fucking good, is because there's parity. Yes, the New England Patriots, but they do it the right way. I will give the Patriots that much credit. They do it the right way. They stay under the salary cap. They don't cheat the system. Now, they do cheat in other ways.
Yep.
Deflategate. But when it comes down to it, it's called competitive. I can't remember the word. It's baseball. They use it. Competitive, even competitiveness or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't fucking. But
competitive.
So it's one of those things. But college football, anybody that wants to watch, I'm gonna stream some games, and anybody who wants to sit down and watch with me is more than welcome to.
I'll do it.
I mean, I'm gonna look for all the really big games, and I'm gonna stream those. I'm also gonna do streaming. I'm gonna stream some Packer games and probably the playoffs because I had 2,000 views on the Super Bowl, so I'm definitely doing a Super Bowl again. But
we'll have to create a segment for you when you want to talk college football on this show. We'll have to give you your own segment name, and we'll have to give Bobbit his own segment. We'll give Goonie her own segment.
Well,
everybody should have their own segments.
Coop, I can honestly talk college football with JP because I follow it as well because I'm a huge Virginia Tech fan.
Yeah, and that's
I know nothing about college football.
We'll teach you, man. We'll teach you. It's really awesome. Good to get into college football because it lets you see what your future is going to look like for the NFL.
Yeah, I do like watching the playoffs when they come on. There was the Rose Bowl. I think a couple of years ago I watched Michigan State. I think won something like that. They did really good. I think that's the last time I've seen a Rose Bowl game. But it's mostly all just CFL when it's sometimes up here. But
I see Ace put in the chat. I hate college football playoffs. The way to do it right is to get rid of some of the bowl games and increase the teams 4 to 12. But knowing the NCAA, they ain't going to do it. At least not right now. The NCAA will never do that. Do you know why they will never do that? This isn't the fucking NFL. There is 126 teams out there. If you finish and it brings revenue into the schools, which in turn helps their education system. So don't take away the bowl games because it gives them schools the revenue. Plus, these guys are recruiting. Do you know how hard it is to recruit right now? And you take away bowl games from these guys, you're killing college football if you do that. And to be honest with you, I don't like the playoff format. I think it should go back to the way it was. And not the BCS either. I'm talking get rid of the Pac-10 versus the Big Ten in the or the Pac-12 versus the Big Ten in the fucking Rose Bowl. Number 1 versus number 2 every fucking year. You have a committee pick the way that they're doing it. Have the committee pick the top 2 teams. I don't give a shit about the top fucking 4 teams. Give me the top 2 teams, and then you have those teams play each other at the end of the freaking year. I don't need a playoff. And then you alternate between bowl games. And I love the bowl games. It's pageantry. That's what college football is all about. They've gone away from that. Now it's all about the playoff. Fuck the playoff. I don't want the playoff. I want a normal, the way it used to be, January 1st, the 1st of January, college football day. Fucking loved it. Now it doesn't exist anymore. It's boring. Do you know how, in the state of Wisconsin, you know, the most money that the bars would make in Wisconsin is January 1st because everybody be sitting at the fucking bar getting fucking shit-faced watching college football.
College football, is it true that actually college football is actually bigger than NFL football?
It is. It is.
Yes. Yeah, it really is.
It's more exciting. There's more excitement behind college football, to be honest with you.
A lot more touchdowns too.
Well, it depends. Like if you have a really good defense, I love defense. Mm-hmm. So like for Wisconsin, I love watching them because their defense is really good and they're hard to score on. Like last year, Sarah, Iowa didn't even have 100 yards of offense against Wisconsin last year. And their only touchdown was an interception. So, and the cornerback that the Packers drafted in the second round, because his draft stock fell, he's the one that scored all the touchdowns for him. So, I love college football with the pageantry. I love college football. It's just, to me, it's more exciting. I could sit and watch college football all fucking day. I could. Pro football, I can sit and watch pro football. Since I'm doing this, I'm going to sit down and watch college football or pro football. I don't mind. Football is football is football. I catch football games all the time. I just don't get that invested in them. I get invested in Packer games, for sure. But that's about as far as it goes for me.
For me, it's I try to just be as knowledgeable as possible. Obviously, I'm a little rusty when it comes to preseason, but next week I'll come stronger and better.
Me too. Like I said, I didn't really, like this past week, I didn't really, why I had to work this past week. So, all week. Yesterday was my only day off in like 2 weeks, so.
Well, I could definitely tell in the chat that a lot of people are very interested in college football as well. So we'll definitely have to create a segment when it comes to college football that after we talk NFL, after we do the reviews, all the news articles, we'll talk college football with you guys. And I really enjoy the knowledge that JP has and Bobbit. What are you, just because you've been a little bit quiet there, who are your college teams? You're a Virginia Tech guy yourself?
Yeah, dude, like, around here, Virginia Tech is, like, fucking massive.
How far are you from Blacksburg, Bobbit? You're
not dude. I can honestly say I can get to Blacksburg in, like, 3 hours.
Okay. How far is Charlottesville?
Charlottesville is about maybe a 4-hour drive because it's on the coast.
Okay, because that's where Virginia is.
Yeah, fuck Virginia, by the way.
I actually don't mind Virginia.
See, that's the big rivalry in my state is Virginia Tech and Virginia.
I'm with Bob. I like Virginia Tech. I like Frank Beamer. Frank Beamer was a really good coach.
I remember in 7th grade when Virginia Tech made the Orange Bowl, they actually had it on the TVs in all the classrooms. That's how big Virginia Tech is around here.
Where my boy Bobby Bowden won the national title. Yeah, Michael Vick was the quarterback that year.
Well, the one that they played on TV, Marcus Vick was playing it.
Oh, yeah, who cares?
Dude, freaking Marcus Vick had so much potential, and he wasted all away.
Yeah, because he thought because of his last name, he thought he was that good.
Like, I saw something in Marcus Vick. Like, I really wanted him to be the quarterback of the Panthers. I thought he would have been fucking amazing. But, no, he fucked it all up.
But, Ace, you got to understand. When you... The more bowl games there are, the more parity you're going to get in college football. Right now, you're not getting that with the parity because they're more worried about what's going on in the fucking college football playoff. Get rid of the college football playoff and focus on... I love the bowls. Do not change a goddamn thing with the bowls. If anything, I would take a couple of them away, not that many, though. Because if you do that, then you're taking recruiting away from these kids or from these coaches, and that's not fair. There's too many fucking schools to take away that many. If you go 6-6, good enough. Go to a college bowl game. They do it up where I live. That's what they do for high school. If you finish at 500 or better, you make the playoffs. There's nothing wrong with it. In basketball, every team makes the turn. If you win, you could have an under 500 record. You can make the playoffs. You can make the big dance. All you got to do is win your tournament.
Just a quick shout out to Gorilla Strong, who just came in our chat room as well. He says Marcus Vick wasn't even 1% of the skill of Michael.
That is true. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Just want to give a shout out to everybody who's been part of the show as we just have gone over the hour mark in the show. Well, actually, we've been 8 minutes over. So it's time to wrap up this episode of the Sideline Study Podcast because, we've all had a long day, I'm sure, out on the East Coast. But I got to go to the gym myself before I go to bed. I want to thank all of you guys who have been part of the chat room. Anything else that you guys want to mention before we end this college segment?
Nope, I just know that college football starts August 30th.
Oh, excellent. Well, we'll definitely have to come up with a segment for you guys after we talk NFL. So you guys have your own college segment on here, because it seems like a lot of people like the college part of you guys talking. So I look forward to doing more college talking with you guys, and I look forward to actually learning about college football this year. It's going to be a brand new year for me where I get to actually learn college football. Maybe I'll find my own college team, and maybe just to piss everybody off, I'll just pick a team that everybody hates.
You got the Washington Huskies up there. They're pretty good.
We have Huskies?
Yeah. Washington State.
All right. We got Huskies.
Oregon State. You got some pretty good teams up your way.
Oh, yeah. I've always been a fan of the Ducks, Oregon Ducks. Just because they're green. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Dude, they've had some beautiful ass uniforms over the years.
They make me want to fucking vomit.
Oh, really? Have they changed?
The handle. Too extravagant.
All right. Well, then we're gonna now wrap up I'm gonna thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Trek. Any last words from you, because you've been a little quiet there?
No, just hopefully the Lions will do well this year. You know, anything's better than 0-16 or 0-18 what they did a couple years ago. That was awful.
6-10.
Don't worry, you and Cleveland are now winless brothers, but at least a lot of people are now jumping on the sympathy part for the Cleveland Browns. They want them to win at least one game.
The Detroit Lions were the first team to do it. Mm-hmm. Oh, how sweet it is. Anyway.
But thank you very much. Hopefully we'll have you Trek back on next week if you'd like to join in. Let's go over to Goonie. Goonie, any last words from you, and give yourself a little plug for your channel?
Yeah, it's the Tattooed Mistress, so you got Behind the Reels, either one, or you can find me over on JP's channel, which he'll shout out in a minute here. I had fun tonight. Hopefully I can get a little bit more in next time.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's quite all right. That's quite all right. Anything to help out the show to get more content, right, basically.
I'm going to write more notes for you for your Baltimore Ravens next week. I'll come more prepared. I've got like 5 different memo books that I need to write in more.
We'll watch football, trust me.
Oh, yeah. And Bobbit, thank you so much for coming back on. Any last words from you, my friend?
No, thanks for having me on, and let's go Carolina and Virginia Tech.
We'll talk more next week with you and your college teams, and more Carolina Panthers, how they do in preseason week 2. And then I want to thank JP Baker for his segment for college football today. And any last words for you and your Green Bay Packers fans out there?
If Green Bay keeps doing what they are doing, they're going to be very, very, very tough to not pick to go to the Super Bowl this year. With what I seen fucking Thursday, this is probably the most excited that it's been in the state of Wisconsin for football. And it's been exciting, trust me. This could be the year. But that being said, I got to get through fucking SummerSlam first. Jeez.
By the way, if you guys want to check out their stuff, they did SmackDown Live, and I get to tune into their channel whenever I can, because I'm kind of like on a silent protest with WWE right now when it comes to their content. So it's like I still love the WWE, but I don't want to watch it because I want to see the ratings drop and get like something in their head like, oh, we got to do something, you know. It's like
right.
But thank you very much, JP, and all of you in the chat room. Shout out to everybody from Merge, David, Stone Cold Cody, Trek, Sir Cardinal. We saw you pop in here with your we talked about your 49ers earlier. I talked about how them putting a nice last 2-minute drive together, man. But thank you so much, Cardinal, for dropping in. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Who else did I miss? Sarah, thank you so much, Sarah, for all the donations. Gorilla Strong, thank you so much for dropping in here as well. The Ace, thank you so much for your thoughts on the college shows. Alpha, thank you so much. Anybody else I missed? Thank you. Ronnie, thank you. Everybody that's just been making the show happen. And we look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday for episode 3 of the Sideline Study Podcast. For myself, JP Baker, Foulmouth Bobbit, Tattooed Mistress, and Trek. We'll see you next week for the Sideline Study Podcast. Have a great week, everybody.